Hello everyone and welcome back to another DanMachi Memoria Freeze video. My name is D-Freeze. Here today we'll be talking about some of the beginner tips so you guys can just go ahead and get started. I know the game just released in a couple other regions as well, so I felt like it would be a good time to cover this again because I did cover it about 500 days ago or something like that when it came out in the US as well. So again, I hope you guys enjoy. Hit that subscribe if you're new for more content, as well as that notification icon so you guys don't miss anything that we upload here on the channel, as well as that thumbs up if this is helpful for you guys. So we're going to cover the basics, and then I'll also talk about some of the better units whenever they pop up that are going, I guess they've already come out, right? That you guys should definitely prioritize pulling for, especially the EU release right now, because they have different banners available right now. So there's some characters you should definitely try to, prioritize. So let's go ahead and start off with the basics. So here's the general just hub world, right? Over in this area, you do have your character selection screen. At the top, you get to form your party. The second one is status board, where you choose a character and you can improve on that character's status board, thus raising their skills, or unlocking skills, excuse me, and raising their stats, things of that nature. So characters do have these. You just want to go ahead and use the Fauna in the game to go ahead and unlock these. And then when you're done, you can rank them up to the next star rarity and then proceed to the next board, so on and so forth, right? So that is how this works. Ultimately, once you get to the max star break, you get to go to the point where you can limit break the character and continue progressing them up to level 80. Just quick spoiler, you generally don't want to do that with 2 or 3 star characters. Very few of them are going to be really competitive or even relevant. The free ones are fine, especially if you're looking for options to fill out your team, but you ideally want to use it on 4-star natural characters. So also the same applies to the assist characters. Assist characters are very good, and a lot of assists don't unlock their most powerful ability until they get to complete +5 status. And this game is actually very generous in terms of giving you a lot of iris to do summons. It's also very generous in terms of giving you the in-game, limit breaks and stuff like that via items like bonds and stuff that we'll cover in a little bit. So, other than that, we do have the training area if you'd like to go there. You also do have the Hero Ascension area, which is where this is actually decently new. It came out a couple of months ago. You can actually come here to unlock Hero Ascension on characters that do have it available, and also improve on those characters. So this is another way to min-max your characters. Let's go ahead and pull it up on this character right here. So you use Ascension Fauna to be able to add in the limit break for the stars beyond 6, basically, if that makes sense. And then you can just further their stats. You can see the change. You can fill it out. Generally, the characters that come with it unlocked automatically, which is pretty much all the new characters since it has come out, are the ones you want to prioritize with that, because it's actually cheaper to use it on them than it is on the older characters that have been out already. Character list is where you actually feed the items to the characters, right? And then their CP does go up, which is that. From that, excuse me. And then with the CP, you are able to gain various items such as Iris, and also gain in different stat increases for the characters individually as well. So that's pretty much it as far as that area is concerned for the characters. We do have the interact area where you can actually take part in actual stories for the characters, thus allowing you for more iris and things of that nature. Each time you get a new variant of the character, it does unlock here. You can also change their wardrobe and just talk to them and stuff like that. On the Japanese version, you can actually touch the girls. That was the only form of censorship that pretty much came to other releases, which I assume extended to the EU version as well. You cannot touch them there, but on the Japanese version, yes, you can. The guild is where you're going to see your daily missions, so make sure you complete them. There's going to be ones, I've already done them, there's going to be ones that say log in at certain times that you see on the screen currently, but the rest of them will be, complete a story mode mission that we'll talk about in a moment, complete Hero Fauna stage, an Exilia stage, we'll talk about those too as well in just a moment, and then also boost status board on each character and so on and so forth. Also, these are cumulative ones. These are never going to go away, basically. These come from you just playing the game and progressing, right? So unlocking certain things, logging in a certain number of days, etc., etc. You see I'm at 558 at the very top. Over here, these are going to be your time-limited ones. These are generally tied to whatever events are currently live. As you see, there's a lot of Hero Fauna. These are what you're going to need to be able to limit break your characters, because you no longer need regular Fauna at that point. I'll cover Fauna in just a moment a little bit more, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, this is all time-limited stuff. It resets pretty much every couple of days. And also, there's a daily mission to talk to 3 characters. This is how you do it. You talk to them. It does increase their CP, so you definitely want to do that. This button below my stamina that says next update, that little refresh button, does allow you to switch between Eyes and Bell. Each character does have their own levels for the character list as well. So do keep that in mind. So you definitely want to level them up between all 3 characters as you go on. So the Blacksmith is different. You can actually craft weapons, upgrade weapons, repair weapons, and purchase weapons that are of lower rarity. You generally will get the crafting materials by playing the game. There's also going to be the missions tied into crafting equipment, excuse me, as you just saw. Also armor and stuff like that. This is all going to be available to you as you play the game. Now, the gacha area, obviously, pretty self-explanatory. This is where you do your pulls. So there's that. We do have the shop, which is where you actually either go ahead and purchase Iris if you want to do that. You have the item shop here. I don't ever really come here because the stuff isn't really worth it. You have Saros and Dolb exchange. You only get Saros and Dolb when you have a unit max limit broken, and then you have residual bonds you cannot use, and you can sell those bonds for the character. 4-star naturals will get you the blue one, which is, I believe, Dolb. I forget the name, but regardless, so that'll get you that. Otherwise, you won't get that. And each event that comes out in the game does have its own exchange shop. Some will have a gacha tied in. You get these from simply playing the event. You can just go ahead and exchange and do what you need to do here. And you see there's these items that allow you to craft weapons and things like that, generally tied in to the story events that come out. So there's a ton of them right now. Make sure you play them. These are the ones that are currently live at the moment. So we do have the special exchanges here. We have things like the 2-year anniversary tickets or coin exchange, gnome tickets. These are acquired via the event exchanges, so make sure you get as many of these as possible because star bonds are very important. They're how you're going to actually be working on your time-limited units. Those are seasonal units like winter units, summer units. They're not always available on every banner. They only come during those seasons. Material exchange is for you to get, materials for crafting your weapons. Equipment exchange, you can exchange for some equips through story simply by playing. So there's that. Fauna exchange is self-explanatory pretty much. Hero metal and flame amulets, these are going to be for prism bonds, which are for non-time limited units. You get these pretty often. They're generally from exchanges for the events as well. And then we also do scroll down, event unit exchanges. You get these tickets from, again, the event exchanges, so definitely play the events. And then these bottom ones, there might be a starter bundle or whatever that you might have to purchase or whatever, but you get to choose an adventurer. I don't remember exactly what all we start off with, right? Now, arena is where you're going to play some of your most relevant content. You have Monsterphilia. This is just playing and, you go through and you beat the requirements and stuff like that. Take the team you want and get a high score and you're good. You get the rewards for that. Record Buster is pretty much always here. I haven't actually played it at all this season pretty much. I played like an auto match or something. But you generally are going to get a lot of your Iris, and this is where the game gets really free-to-play friendly. You're getting a lot of your Iris from this overall. So let's take a look at the rank rewards. Rank 1 gets 1,000, so on and so forth. You're getting hundreds of Iris as soon as just assuming you participate, man. Also, same goes for War Game rewards here. Same type of deal. You get Iris and Ascension Fauna. So, like where I ranked, I got 700 Iris. So, just little stuff like that. I actually didn't really play that season too much, but I hit a wall there. It can actually be pretty difficult to get into Hero 3. That's about where the wall comes in. Familiar War Game is Familiar ranking, so it's a little different. We haven't really talked about Familias, but Familia is where your guild is. This is just basically a guild system, and you can either join them or create them and stuff like that. So that being said, let's go to the quest area. And then after we talk about quests, we'll talk about the best adventurers live in the game currently that you would want to start off with if you have the opportunity to. Obviously, that does kind of change depending on when you guys watch this video. But still, on the far left side, you have all the different episodes that you can partake in. Reuse only has 5. Each, for the record, each episode has 3 different difficulties you can complete. And obviously, you'll get the compensation for that too. Bell just got a couple new ones as well. So there's that. And then Eyes and Lafia have theirs too. So the boost area is where you find the Fauna stages. They're not always open. They're open today. I believe Saturday in Japan is the day that they're all open. So on and so forth. You can also unlock them if you'd like to when they're not. So there you go. Also, when you play these stages, if you play them on the hardest difficulty, the stamina requirement's quite a bit. But the game gives a ton of stamina refill stuff. Like I have thousands and thousands of equipment or items for that, right? They give a lot. But you can play this and get Hero Fauna, right? So Hero Fauna is going to be one of the harder currencies to come by in the game because you need it a lot. Now, this is Exilia. You can unlock this for free once a day. Otherwise, you do need other residual stuff to do it. So you get an hour. When you unlock the stages, you get an hour to play it. So definitely play it. And these are other things you would want to complete here as well. So this is where the events are. So I mentioned that you want to play these events as much as you can. You get rewards for completing the stages as well. Remember how I mentioned Hero Fauna? Just general pro tip, whenever there's an event like this, clear it all the way through on every difficulty, get all the way to very hard, and replay the final stage generally when you farm to get the stuff you need for the exchange shop, right? And you'll get a decent amount of Hero Fauna for that too, right? That's pretty much where you're going to get the Hero Fauna, which we'll get back to in just a moment before we talk about the characters. Heroic Trials is where you can get some bonds for whatever characters they're giving, and bonds are used for limit breaking again. And that's pretty much it. Dispatch is where you can also get some good stuff like Iris and Hero Fauna and stuff like that. So you see I got a ton of stuff here, and it's just an adventure pretty much. You don't do anything. You just send the characters out, and they actually can complete them on their own. So I have some that are going to complete soon, and you'll go from there. Tip for this is the higher the character level, the better that they are built up, then the higher the success rate pretty much. So that's pretty much all you really need to know about this. Just complete them when you can, and you definitely want to complete them as often as possible. So we're going to take a look at Hero Fauna, and then we're going to transition into some of the better characters to worry about right now. So I mentioned, I'm going to turn assists off. I mentioned that you need Hero Fauna to level up characters. This is how it looks from the status board page. Bottom left corner, you see it says Bond. I have 2. I only need 1 more because I've actually unlocked these ones, this row right here. And this is where Hero Fauna comes in, by the way. You need 1 per each one of these nodes. So you need, what is this, 25? You need a lot, right, per character. You can get a decent bit just by playing. You can't buy it or anything. It just comes from playing. So every character I have +5 is just from playing. So again, grinding the hardest difficulty, that's pretty much where you're going to get most of you. You can also do the charm. There's a charm that you get on Tuesdays, I believe. And you could take it to Fauna, and you can also use it there, and it'll help you get more Hero Fauna to drop. But yeah. So that's pretty much how they work out here, right? So this character is almost done with limit breaking. I can't actually unlock their final row there until I have finished off those last 3 A, E, and D, agility, endurance, and dexterity stat boosts to be able to move on, right? So that's how that works. So obviously every character needs them. You also do need 3 when you want to unlock the character's ability to go 6-star. So do keep that in mind as well. Hero Fauna, you're going to notice you're going to need it quite a bit. I'm actually out. As you see, I need some myself. Yeah, I'm out myself. So let's take a look at some of the characters that are the best ones to worry about right now. So I believe the EU banner currently live right now still has the pop star characters that just came out on the other versions of the game, but they're in the banner and they don't have an individual banner. Correct me if I'm mistaken. If you have those, great. Definitely pull for Lafia and Philphus, the fire duo. They're both really, really good, and fire is the meta of the game right now. There's other elemental teams that are really good too, like Earth and things like that. Halloween banner just left. That banner was really good. Coincidentally, the EU version launches right as that banner leaves. So, yeah. And stuff like that. So here's the Philphus I was mentioning, and Lafia is up here somewhere. If that banner is live, you definitely want to get a good start with these characters, and you can get the bonds like I mentioned, the prison bonds from like Gnome. Was it Gnome tickets or was it? I think it's a hero. Yeah, it's the hero metal and flame amulets that I talked about. You can get them there. Also, sometimes they're going to be in heroic trials. You can get them and work on them from there, and just progress your characters. The game gives you a lot of opportunity for stuff like that. Other characters to really work on when it comes to adventurers. Assists are really important, but let's just focus mainly on adventurers and what would be available right now. The funny thing about the EU version is they actually have the Argonaut batch of characters. So the Argonaut batch is really good, and I wish I pulled more. Elmina here is one of the best characters in the game. This Argonaut as well, one of the best characters in the game. Same here. Really good for Record Buster. Some characters are going to do like single target moves and stuff like that, like he does. Really good for Record Buster. That's where they come into play. Other ones are going to be really good in War Game, and that's pretty much every other type of content. Galmus is really good too. Fina's very good here. So like that whole Argonaut batch, I think they're all live, or they will be. You definitely want to pull for them. I can't tell you when Attack on Titans or Data Live crossover units will come back. There's also going to be another crossover soon in the game, so you might want to save Iris for that as well. There's going to be some of the best characters to focus on, and there's a ton. There's even more I can highlight, but those are some of the most meta-relevant ones right now. But a good way to tell which characters are going to be really good is if you just come here, and not here, excuse me. If you come here and look at popular unit, it's not showing now because it's not on right now. You can see the most popular adventurers and assists for that mode. So if we come here to Record Buster, these are the ones that are the most successful, the best characters. Yes, Haruhime #1 definitely makes sense. The new eyes that just dropped, the new line that just dropped, Popstar banner. So these characters are the most popular adventurers and these are the most popular assist characters for Record Buster currently. And again, Record Buster is a little bit different, right? It's not like War Game. War Game is more PvP. Record Buster is PvE. So looking at the assists characters that you might want to focus on, they were actually on the screen just then. Some of the best ones are, again, the Argonaut ones. If you can summon for the Argonaut batch, they're actually very meta relevant. All of them. Well, mainly this one and and this one, but they're very meta relevant, right? Other than that, there's actually a ton. Chloe Lolo is very good. She's actually really meta relevant and always has been since the game launched. Same thing extends here to Aina. We also do have this Data Live Hestia, who actually, again, is not live in the game. Sacred Fire Hestia. This Hestia is winter exclusive, actually, so she's not live. There's a lot of time-limited units. Those are some of the most important ones, though, to focus on. I'm trying to get out of here without making this too long, but yeah, just experiment. When you see some of those characters pop up on banners, go for them. And what you need to be doing right now is just progressing through story, playing the events, building your team, and enhancing your team, and you'd be fine from there. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch all of you in the next one.